We're talking with Chief Meteorologist T.G. Shuck, who has recently had the LASIK procedure at Commonwealth Eye Surgery. Why did you decide to have LASIK surgery?
I've had contacts and glasses for about 20, 25 years, since back in high school. I'm dating myself, but wore contacts just after college, and of course when I started doing the on-air thing with television, wore them a lot more than I did before that time, and ran into a problem 6 or 7 years ago where I was wearing them so much it was causing me some problems. So I kind of started doing the half and half thing with glasses, contacts, but I'm a runner and into sports, and I find as I do that, my eyes would dry out and get really uncomfortable with the contacts. It was just a hassle from day to day doing it. So this is something that was really a goal of mine for the last few years at least.
Why did you choose Commonwealth?
Well, it's funny how word of mouth around town, spreads very easily with anything. And just over the course of doing a little research, I got online, I looked, for experience, and also had just heard from a few friends that had had the procedure done that Dr. Ferguson and everybody over at Commonwealth were just fantastic, and that was the place that you wanted to go. And I can confidently say that everybody that told me that was exactly right. I mean, that's the one thing that I came away from this, is just how great everyone that I've come in contact with during the process, from Dr. Ferguson to Dr. Finley, all the way down to the folks in the front office. I mean, everybody's just been fantastic. Everything's been really, really thorough. That's been the other good thing about it. It seems to be a quality thing as opposed to a quantity thing, just not trying to get people in and out. I mean, they really take the time to make sure that all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted. So that really made a good impression for me.
What would you tell friends, family, or associates about it?
Honestly, if this is something that you're thinking about doing, I highly recommend it. People would tell me beforehand, this is a life-changing thing and the best thing that I've ever done. And you believe that, but not until you experience it can you really get a good sense of how it is afterwards. And I would really recommend it to anyone, because just the difference it makes, not having to fumble around with contacts, not having to deal with glasses. I mean, I think back to, going to UK football games, being out in the sunshine. Well, it's impossible to wear sunglasses when you have glasses, and I don't do the whole clip-on thing. So I would have to wear my contacts. They would dry out, they'd be hurting, and I'd just be ready to scratch my eyes out by the end of the game. Now I can just kind of go around and do whatever I want and don't have to worry about that at all. So if you're thinking about doing it, I would go for it.
How'd you feel? Were you anxious?
For me personally, I guess there's more pressure trying to forecast the weather around here than doing something like that. But honestly, I think I was so anxious and excited about this life-changing thing that I really didn't have a lot of anxiety. I was looking forward to it more than anything. So maybe a little bit because it's that fear of the unknown. But the great thing about it is everything's laid out for you ahead of time. This is what's going to happen. This is how things are going to come down. And the nice thing during the procedure, one thing that I really remember, is that Dr. Ferguson was fantastic of keeping me posted with what he was doing. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And so instead of just kind of wondering what was going to be next, I knew immediately what was coming, and it really just kind of made things nice through the whole process.
The evaluation process.
The thing that struck me about it was how thorough it was. I was amazed how long it took, which was a good thing, because you want to cover all your bases when you're doing something as significant as having surgery on your eyes. So I was pretty impressed with that. I thought that was a good thing.
Tell us about the surgical procedure.
I think I was a little surprised, because I think some people may go in thinking, oh, this is going to take 45 minutes to an hour. It's going to be long, drawn out. I mean, literally, from the time that I walked into the room to the time I walked out, I mean, it was minutes. And I didn't really believe that going in, but it really was just before I knew it, it was over with. And as they did each eye, I could immediately see the difference. all you got to do is listen to what they say, look here, and the next thing you know, I mean, it's over with. And he did one eye, and he pushed me to the side, and I could see clearly on the ceiling, which was amazing to me.
The post-op follow-up process.
Post-op's great. They make sure that, everything's okay, and as long as you just follow the instructions like anything else, you'll be fine.
More and more patients, including other doctors, have sought out Commonwealth because of Surgical Director Dr. Lance S. Ferguson. What would you like people to know about Dr. Ferguson?
He talked me through the procedure, saying this is going to happen next, and so I was ready for the next element of the surgery, because that's really, I guess, going in for me, the biggest fear that I had, if anything, was, okay, it's fear of the unknown. I don't know what's going to happen next, but the fact that he let me know what was happening, I mean, that went a long way in just kind of comforting me and really making the whole thing go by very seamlessly.
How has LASIK changed your life?
It's kind of like back in the day where we didn't have cable TV. We had 3 channels, and then we got cable. And once you get cable, you can never go back. That's the way that I feel with the surgery. Before, I didn't know any better. I had my glasses, I had my contacts. That was my life. That's what I had to deal with. But now that I have this and I can see better than I ever have in my life, I can't imagine going back or not having it done. So that's probably the best analogy I can come up with it. I mean, it is that life-changing to where literally as you operate from day to day, the benefit of it, there's just example after example after example.
Be the best that you can be. Commonwealth Eye Surgery.